where's the chat? View docs chat. There's the chat. Okay. All right. Let's see. Hello. Because one of my kids was like, "Oh, I can't wait," and then I was like, "It's on at 9 o'clock tonight." He was like, "Oh, that's so late," and then he was like, "Oh, wait, last week we were on spring break. That's why I was able to watch it."
It was so easy last week. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So,
Okay. Olivia's there. She says, "Yo, yo, yo."
hello,
Um,
Olivia.
all right. Also, yep. Olivia just said, "Rob, are you recording Bantha tonight?" And now she's in here. So, yep, that answers that. All right. Okay, so she's here. So she's our number one fan is back. All right.
Always.
And then I got this started. Let me just make sure you can hear.
There
Okay.
we go.
All right, rewind that. Okay. What did he say? Maul said something. Oh, what's the girl's name? Was it Devin?
Devin.
Devin. All right. All right. So I'm gonna say hello, Devin, and then you can say something like hello, Maul, or whatever. Um, when I say on this episode of, because he says that at the end of episode 3, doesn't he? He says her name for
Uh,
the first time.
yes, and that's how it ends.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, let me hit
Oh,
record on my end.
okay.
All right, good.
All right. I'm recording also. On this episode of Bantha Milk Podcast, hello, Devin.
Ooh, chilling. More mall, please.
More Maul.
It's the Band the Milk Podcast. Yeah! Pour a glass of that blue milk, we know it's gonna last. With Rob and James behind the controls, discussing Jedi Sith and all the plot holes. Every week we're back, can't be denied. Got the hot takes flowing and the canon clarified.
Yeah. And we're back. Another week, back to back weeks because
It just keeps happening and it's awesome.
it's awesome. Maul is back for another 2 episodes. So we're back for another episode. We're going to teach you more about what just happened on Maul for episodes 3 and 4, tell you all about it, maybe have some Easter eggs thrown in there, maybe give you a little rundown. My favorite word from The Office. Why don't you give me that rundown, Jim? Yeah, I'll work on that rundown for you. So we're going to give
Yep.
you the rundown of episodes 3 and 4 with some Easter eggs, maybe some things that might have linked back to Luke and Darth Vader. I hope you know who they are.
Nope,
And
not a clue.
not a clue. And so yeah, so we're back for the next. James will be here for one more week, correct? You'll be back with us next week.
Yes, at least one more, maybe two, depends on how that Monday night kind of shakes
All
out for
right.
us.
Hopefully, maybe we'll see. But we have him for at least one. And I did reach out to my friend Ken from the Rambling Star Wars fan, and he said he would be more than happy to jump in and take your place. So he will hopefully try to fill your big shoes. And
I'm
we know
sure he'll do great.
we know you wear a size 13, so he's got big shoes to fill there. But yeah, so we're back. We gotta do all of our normal stuff beforehand before we get into the breakdown of Maul. Because it's only been a week, I didn't dig too deep into a lot of news, but I do have some news. Of course, we're gonna hit all the other social meds and all that other good stuff that we have here. So, but before we do all of that, this is Bantha Milk Podcast, so we have to talk about what Bantha milk we are drinking. And I'm not sure if I should actually drink my Bantha milk because the Bantha milk that I found should actually probably go in a museum at this point. Um,
Oh,
yes, I have something that was probably from last summer. It's still good. I mean, it's not gonna be bad tasting, but it's probably a collector's item at this point.
Oh my gosh, you are building this up in such a good way. So
Yes. So one of my favorites, because it was from the Ears Up network, is how I really grew to love it. And then I went to San Francisco, to San Leandro, as Jason would say, or even to I think it's the place where baseball can be seen and heard when I right across the street from there. But the
yeah.
21st Amendment, I found one last bottle or can of Hell or High Watermelon from last summer.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if I should even drink this. I think I should just keep it on the shelf with my blue milk back there, but I'm gonna risk it and drink it because it's delicious, and I'm sure even a year later it's still delicious.
I'm sure
Uh
you're doing just fine. Yeah.
but yeah, so, whatever. I mean, the beer coming from overseas takes forever in shipping containers and all that stuff. So I'm sure this is going to be just wonderful. But yes, I have the most delicious beer, Hell or High Watermelon from 21st Amendment. I'm plugging them even though they're out of business, but I still love it anyway. So there we go. And you, my friend, what do you have? I'm sure you have something from Wisconsin.
I'm back to where I started originally. I found another one of these in my fridge and I'm like, oh, good night. The pineapple cream ale from Skeleton Crew Brew on the west coast of Wisconsin and on Alaska sounds pretty good to me.
Sounds great to me as well. All right, let's pop these cans and let's see what we get here. Oh,
Not a lot
so
of fizz coming out of yours.
it made a loud pop though. It definitely
It
popped a
did.
lot. Yeah. There's some bubbles in there. I can see some
Oh,
bubbles.
okay, good, good. I'm only a little worried for you. So,
Yeah, no, I think it'll be just fine. No, there's some. Yeah, look at that head.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You're gonna
Uh,
be just fine.
Plenty of
Okay. Ooh,
carbonation there. Yeah.
ooh.
I'll even have to tilt it a little bit more.
Oh my gosh,
Look at that. Oh, still
dream
looks
is coming
delicious.
true.
Oh man. I am so happy for this.
Yeah, savor it.
Mm, this is probably the last one ever. I'm kidding. I'm sure they have cases of them sitting around somewhere still because
Someone's got something
yeah.
somewhere. Yeah, absolutely. So,
Mm, so good. All right. Cheers, my friend. Cheers.
years.
Still tastes like watermelon. I love it.
Mine tastes like pineapple. So what a good
There we
mix.
go. We got a nice fruit blend of beers tonight.
Oh, it's going so good.
Going so good. Yeah. I love it. All right. We need to plug away. Go ahead and plug away on all the other shows we got here on the Ears Up Network for
I
us, will you?
got you for this. Yeah. So between our last episode, one new episode from the flagship Ears Up show talking about the Disney labor strike of 1941. Otherwise, plenty of time to catch up on the Supreme Resort, Puny Pod, Scraping the Vault, the Buena Vista Boys, and the Fantasyland Draft League. The countdown is on. We'll be there soon.
We will be there soon. Coming up next month. I guess it's because they had their April drop, so it'll be the next show.
We're
So
the
the
next
next
one.
show, we're the next one that comes out. You can also
Yeah.
find us on Facebook at Bantha Milk Podcast on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram at just Bantha Milk. I just want to make sure. Nope, Bantha Milk Podcast on Instagram as well. So you can find us on Instagram at Bantha Milk Podcast. You can find us on Facebook at Bantha Milk Podcast. And we have a TikTok. I never use it, but there is a TikTok, Bantha Milk Podcast, all one word at TikTok. And funny story about this.
Go
Uh
on.
there was my daughter, my daughter recorded her and I dancing, just doing some stupid dance in our kitchen one day. And then she posted it and it went viral in the town that I work in. So all the kids in the middle school are like, "You showed up on my For You page." And I'm like, "Okay."
Incredible.
And then I'm walking through the high school because I teach in the middle school, but I coach at the high school. And as I'm walking into the high school to coach, kids are walking past me going, "You were in my For You page." I got like 7,000 views all in just my town that I teach in. It was so funny. They're like, "You went viral." And I'm like, "Yeah, only in our town
Yes.
I went viral." It was so funny.
Yes.
Every kid was like, "You're on my TikTok." So it was really, really funny. And all it was just us, her doing whatever the dance was, and me just being stupid behind her because I couldn't figure out the dance. And
Glorious.
it was glorious. Yeah. And I think since then there's only been like three other posts. But if you want to follow it, go right ahead. Maybe
You're there.
you'll see
Cool.
us somewhere maybe once in a while on there. But yes, so we have all those. So follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, and go ahead and follow us on TikTok as well if you really want to. But we're on all three of those. So that's that. All right. So we got those things out of the way, which means now it is of course time for for the music.
Bring
It's
it
time for the
on.
music. We need the music, but it's playing upside down. I gotta have the music. It's time.
Star Wars news. Star Wars news. Star Wars news.
You heard it. It's time for Star Wars news. That's right. I only have three articles this week because it's only been a week and I wanted to move on to other things. The first one,
Yep.
very exciting news. April 29th is not just my brother's birthday, but it's also the day that you'll finally be able to see characters from the original trilogy walking around in Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland. Not in Disney World yet, only in Disneyland.
Gotta go to California first to see it. It'll
So
be
you
great
gotta
to see good favorites, Vader, Leia, Han. I saw an article that had a preview of Han Solo showing up,
okay.
and, I didn't think he looked that bad. Some of the
Okay.
comments were a little harsher, but it's harder to say. I think my favorite of them was, "What is Gaston doing in Han Solo's outfit?"
That's funny.
So, but I'm like, "You're never gonna find someone who looks like Harrison Ford,
No.
so, like, get as close as you can,
Yeah.
let's just embrace the magic and forget the reality of it." So,
Even when we went to Disney World, there was we were in Hollywood Studios two different nights, and the one night we were there was a girl walking around that was supposed to be Ray, and the one girl looked close. She looked really close, and I was like, okay, I can see that. And then the other night we went, and there was another girl walking around in Ray's clothes, and it looked like a different girl just walking around in Ray's clothes, and I was like, "Who's this impersonator?" But yeah, so you're not gonna find everybody that looks exactly like them. So if you can find somebody that's even somewhat resemblant, whatever, that's the closest that you're gonna get. So
Yep.
there you go. So all right. The next article that I have is the Lego Mandalorian Giant N1. Where did it go? Here it is. Lego unveils huge Mandalorian N1 starfighter set for Star Wars Day. So Lego is celebrating Star Wars Day in a big way this year with the reveal of a brand new Ultimate Collector Series set. Inspired by The Mandalorian arriving just in time, The Mandalorian and Grogu. This giant N1 set is 1,809 pieces. Now, I have the old one, which is definitely not 1,809
Not that
pieces.
many. That is a
No.
massive set,
Yeah, that
so
is a massive set. Like, I don't
not
even know. Like, I'm looking at pictures, and the one that I have is like scaled very well for
Mhm.
the minifigs. So I don't even know why
Mhm.
it like whatever. But anyway, it's the new model fuselage exposed engines detailed from the show using advanced building techniques and specialized silver elements for screen accurate authenticity.
Very cool for that.
Very cool. Yes, but price 249, so $250.
Not
Will
a
be
good
arriving.
piece, not a good brick value in that one, but
No,
you're paying for some very unique bricks out of that is my
yeah,
take.
yeah. There are a lot of very one-off pieces, and it is very large, and it is 1,800 pieces. So you are going to get a lot of pieces, but I don't know. It's enormous. And then the last one that I have, I'm going to see if I can, for our friends watching on YouTube, I can do it over here. What do I hear voices.
Oh,
Are you watching something?
that might just be Tag talking that loud.
Oh, okay.
He's podcasting downstairs.
Okay, that's what I hear. I hear Tag talking downstairs. All right, let me see. I need to go to this one and then go here. And then I'm going to share the screen and Chrome tab. Oh, I might be able to do this. Yes. Let me see if I can put this. Close this. Come on. All right. Window. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm going to share this because this is a kind of a visual thing here. All right.
Okay.
All right. Let's see here on. All right. Now, YouTube, it's showing really big. It's a whole window. So if you're listening in your car, stop, pull over, go to the YouTube and check it out now on YouTube because this is 22 memes, 22 Baby Yoda memes, full of laughs and mischief they are.
Incredible.
All right. So the first one is Baby Yoda, and it says me. I don't need to write it down. I'll remember. Enter password me, and then it's Baby Yoda screaming.
Yeah.
uh,
It's a
oh,
thing to scroll through. Yeah.
oh, is it one?
It's,
Oh, this is
it's a
annoying.
carousel. Yep.
Yeah, here we go. All right, next page. It says, oh, that's the nth one. Okay, me, I
Yep.
need to fix my sleeping schedule. Me at 3 a.m., and it's a Baby Yoda with a little
Yeah.
hat on staring at a screen. That is true as well.
Happens to the best of us, right?
It definitely does. What's worse than Friday the 13th? Monday the anything. And it's a
Mhm.
Baby Yoda giving that face. So that is true.
Hits it well.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Look, I'm just trying to make it to Friday. I can tell you this week that my wife is having. This is her meme of the week. She is just trying to make it to Friday this week. So yes, I could replace Baby Yoda here with my wife right now. Yep, that is very true.
Absolutely. Yep.
When people say she's really nice once you get to know her, may as well say she's a B, but you'll get used to it. And it's Baby Yoda with a little sad face, like a little confused face. All right, the next one. People in horror movies, people, I don't what's
The YouTube way of saying this would be unaliving themselves.
no,
During
yes,
horror movies,
okay.
aka
In
dying.
horror movies, me, but is the dog okay?
Asking the important questions, right?
Asking the very important questions. Is the dog okay? But is the dog okay? Oh, yes. All right, there we go. That one I didn't like that one as much. This is Baby Yoda sleeping, and it says the early bird can have the worm, and then it says the worm because worms are gross and mornings are stupid. So,
Oh, fully disagree with this one.
oh, you're an
Ugh,
early bird
mornings are the
person?
best. Oh, I love mornings. Get me
Mm,
up early.
I would only get up early to rope drop. Other than that, I want to sleep in. Yeah, no, thank you. I could sleep in. I mean, if I could sleep in for right recently, I'm awake 4 times in the middle of the night. But if I had the option to sleeping in, I definitely would.
Rob, you don't have to describe how old you're getting. We
I
don't. We
know,
don't
right?
need.
It's such a shame. Back in my day, when I was a young whippersnapper, I could sleep all day.
No, we'll get you a
uh,
full-fledged Vader breeding apparatus soon.
I know, right? And a walker. This is an
Mhm.
angry face Baby Yoda here. It says rent due, lights due, car note due, insurance due, mountain due, baby shark due, every dang thing due. So it's angry that everything is due. All right, we'll do one more. We don't need to go through all 22 of these. And the last one, it's Baby Yoda with his hair in curlers. He's holding his coffee,
Glorious. Yeah.
and it says, some girls be claiming he's my world, but that's your fourth world in 2 months. You are building a solar system. That one's
Oh,
actually a good one.
I had that friend in college.
Yeah, I had a friend who married their world 4 times. So yes.
Oh, so
So
nice.
nice. All right. Well, that's the end of it for the news for me because I don't want to take up too much time on the news. I wanted to get right into Maul. But before we do that, do you have another
I
Jedi of the week or no?
it's gonna take us some time, but yeah, we got one. Oh
Okay,
yeah.
good. All right. Well, then let's do this.
Yeah, I'm the Jedi of the week. I've been running it like I've been Yoda for a minute. Putting on a clinic with my homie Obi-Wan Kenobi. Can you feel it? On the field like a real one. Yeah.
You're the real one. And by the way, make sure you're doing a very thorough job because not only do we have Olivia in the chat, but Marie's here as well.
Oh, the whole Spokes gang is
The
here.
whole Spokes gang is here and they want to learn all about this Jedi that we're up to. Last week we were
Yep.
at Q. So if I do
Q,
my
yeah.
alphabet right, that means we're up to R.
R, that's
And it's not
correct.
Rob, Jedi Rob. So let's
Oh,
find out who we're talking
no.
about this week. I can't wait.
Oh, this Jedi, so close to canon, showed up in Lego Rebuild the Galaxy, but we're still not there yet. So someday, though, someday we'll get back to the Old Republic and we will meet Revan. Whether you want him
Oh,
light side Revan, dark side Revan, you got
yes.
options for where this guy goes.
Light
It's a
side Revan.
huge pendulum swing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we love it. So he started out brilliant, charismatic, a full Jedi Knight, but then when the Mandalorians started conquering the galaxy and the Jedi Council chose to do nothing, Revan's like, "Nah, I'm gonna go do it." So he rallied his own faction. He led the Republic to victory, but then out in the unknown regions, he fell to the dark side, and then he became the Sith Lord, Dark Revan. At least that's kind of how that story goes. But that was just the beginning because eventually he was captured by a Jedi strike team, and then the Jedi Council wiped his memory, so he just kind of became fresh again. So reprogrammed, gave a new identity, retrained him, so that way he could take down the Sith Empire he built. And it's just fascinating how he explores all the extremes of the Force. He was good, he was bad, he was a little bit of both, and then he just kind of figured out like all of what the Force could be and who he had to become again and again and again and again. And so you can experience Revan by playing the Knights of the Old Republic games, seeing the MMO game of the Old Republic. He shows up at some point, and I think that he's probably in some Legends books too. Let's be honest. So
Mhm.
but man, he's such an interesting character that if like we start having more and more problems with the worlds that they're going to in the Star Wars stories, they really just need to lean into Old Republic.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So, funny thing about Revan, there was comic the insult dog. I don't know if you remember him
Uh-huh.
from Conan O'Brien.
Do.
He did a he was in line for Star Wars Attack of the Clones and he was just going up and down the line just making fun of everybody in line.
Yeah.
And I remember at one point he walks up to a guy, there was a guy dressed up like Darth Vader and he's like, "And who are you?" And the guy's like, "Darth Vader." And he's like, "What do these buttons do? Or what does this do?" And he says something like,
Mhm.
"Oh, this is my respirator." And he goes, "Which one of these buttons calls your mommy?" Something like that. And then he goes up to somebody else and he goes, "Who are you?" And he goes, "I'm Revan." And I thought he was like he made up his own character because I didn't read any of the books or anything at the time. So
Yep,
for
yep.
years, I thought it was just this like made up character. And then the one day Nick said it, and I was like, "Wait, he's a real character?" He's like, "Oh
For
yeah."
real.
And I was like, "Oh my gosh." So then I started to find out more, read more and more, and find out more and more about him to find out that he was like a real character and he has like a huge storyline and all that good stuff. So it was really,
Yeah,
really funny. So yeah. So anytime somebody says his name, it always reminds me of Comic the Insult Dog. So, yep.
incredible.
So great choice. He's an awesome Jedi. Hopefully they'll bring him into canon with our main man Dave Filoni over there. You never know. He's bringing all kinds of stuff in, so he would be the one to bring him in as well.
Feeling pretty good at that being a realistic possibility. So
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So, all right, well, we're just speeding along here because actually we're not. It feels like we're speeding along, but we're
never do.
never do. All right, well, we're going to hit a commercial real quick. And then when we come back, we will talk all about episodes 3 and 4 of Maul. And we're back, and we just purchased that item as well. There was a question when we were on Spokes that was, what have you bought because of the show? What it was in the 100 questions of the hub crawl.
Ooh,
And
nice.
I just bought that product because of Bantha Milk because I liked it so much. Whatever it
Mhm.
was that was in your commercial, I just bought it. If it was
Good for you.
DraftKings or who knows what it was, but I just bought it. So there we go.
My card got declined, so
Oh, so you didn't
bummer
get to
for
do it.
me. No.
All right. So episodes 3 and 4 of Maul. As we remember, last week we ended with Devin being trapped, Maul being mischievous and bad. There was a theory. Did we talk about it? About the cop, uh, his son maybe being a Jedi? Did we talk about that together?
Oh, I don't remember that theory being
Okay.
pitched at all. So we're saying Lawson's son Riley is actually a Jedi,
Right.
or at
So
least a Force user of some kind.
Right. So
Interesting.
so somebody pitched this idea. I read it online. I don't after seeing these next 2 episodes, I don't think so because we really didn't see Lawson's son Riley much at all this week. But
No, but
he
jumping way ahead in the plot,
yeah,
like that could be an interesting ploy of why Lawson is like hurt that Master Daki is not like forthcoming that he's a Jedi with him because Lawson's like, it's fine with me. My
right.
kid is a Jedi.
Yeah. Or also what they were saying is that's the other reason he doesn't want to bring the Empire here because he doesn't want them to find his son and realize that his son is a Jedi. Um,
Fascinating.
so that was it. And then the other part of that theory was since Maul seems bent on having an apprentice, if Devin doesn't pan out to be the apprentice, that he's going to turn the son into his apprentice. That
Oh wow.
Devin,
Okay.
yeah. So this guy was like really, really reaching here with this whole thing. So I don't know. So we'll see. So that was an interesting take. I was like, oh, that's a really deep dive there.
It's
Um,
such like a wild plausible take of like
mhm.
it could be. And like I can go with if it happens, but that feels like less than 1% chance in what
Yeah,
I feel like is the reality of what's actually gonna happen.
yeah,
I'm
because
ready to eat my words on that one, but
yeah, it would, and like I've had like a lot of like theories where I'm like on different shows, even like Skeleton Crew. I don't remember what it is at this point, but like on Skeleton Crew, I was really hoping for blank to happen, and I was even like digging deep with ideas, and then they never panned out that way. It was a little bit more
Mhm,
transparent than that, but it's a neat
mhm.
concept, and especially after Lawson was in a lot these 2 episodes and
Yes.
it doesn't seem, I mean, it's only 4 episodes in so far, and we have what, 12 altogether? I think it's 5 weeks. So is it
5 weeks, so 10
10
episodes
episodes?
for
So we got
this
10
season.
episodes, yeah, for
Yep.
this season. So we'll see where he goes with it. But yeah, so interesting. So all right, so this episode 3 starts. We hear this episode starts with some whispers. Those are referencing the title of the episode, "Whispers in the Unknown." But they're
Mhm,
also
mhm.
callbacks to the scene in Darth Maul's very first appearance. We hear similar whispers all throughout the episode as the dark side slowly seeps into Devin's mind.
Yeah,
Uh,
and that's pretty cool that we kinda get that really kind of showing up right away with, coming out of what seems like Maul's lightsaber,
yeah.
the kyber crystal that bled kind of calling out or reading thoughts and
Uh-huh.
whatnot, like, that's just a really great way to kinda lead into it and show just kind of that, like, draw and temptation.
Mhm.
'Cause of course I'm watching this and I'm just thinking about, like, Sidious doing this to Luke later on
Yeah.
with, like,
Uh,
leaving the lightsaber out and, like, "It's there, you can just take it and strike me down."
yeah, go
And you
ahead.
see the whole difference of, like, Luke doesn't bite, but Devin does.
Devin does, yeah. So then we hear a tolling of a bell. Bell tolling through cultures has so many different means and all that other stuff.
My
Uh,
gosh,
that
yes.
this bell tolling is quickly becoming distorted, which is symbolic of how the dark side is able to slip past Devin's guard and Maul is corrupting her soul even more. Then we tilt down to Janix, where Devin has escaped until she's met by Rockcast. And then so she's looking up and she sees her standing up at the on top with all of the other band of bad guys that she's with. Um
Yeah,
and I will say again, like these graphics are so good. It's like when they did the live action of The Lion King, which was basically just all at are all cartoons, like all whatever. Like
yeah,
this is so close to that. Like the cartooning in this is so realistic. Like it's so
yeah.
close to like real. It's crazy.
Yeah, the quality
Um,
and the style is so good. I can't get past how good it is, and
yeah.
I will keep singing praises because of that.
Yeah, like you're watching it and you're almost thinking that you're watching real people. It's so good. It doesn't look like uh Rebels. I love Rebels, but it looks like a cartoon. This barely looks like a cartoon.
It is evolved, yep.
Yeah, and then we also see Rook and the Zabraks and all of them are all standing up there. Then
Mhm.
Rook motions for Devin to enter a tunnel, and tunnels and hallways in Star Wars are everywhere. There's always tunnels and caves and whatever in Star Wars.
Yep.
Luke entered the cave in Dagobah. Now she's going into the cave, and she walks through the cave, and here's Maul just sitting there with a table and some tea, and he's like, "Hello, have some tea with me." Um,
And this is where I wish they would have ended episode 2 because it's like you
yes,
kind of had this really nice moment, like one line from Maul, or even just the setup of like she goes through and like the light flashes on Maul or whatever the case kind of is. It's like, this is all I needed. I just needed these last 20 seconds. It would have been fine.
it would have been such a better ending than just her being there. And even when at the very at the very beginning, when she gets out, the little Weasley guy, he's like still in his jail cell, and he's like, "You got out? How'd you get out?"
I
Like
know.
that could have all been in the last episode. But anyway, so
Yep.
Mole's holding a tea ceremony,
Yeah.
and then the tea ceremony promotes four ideas: harmony, respect, purity, and tranquility. This tea ceremony is actually based on one that was attended by Darth Maul's voice actor Sam Witwer. Sorry,
Oh, Sam Witwer did this? Oh, that's
he did,
cool.
yeah. So, narratively, a tea ceremony often acts as a cleansing moment when characters feel at peace enough to tell the truth. In this scene, Maul's first words are, "You are beginning to see things from a new perspective." And that is what this episode is about. Devin, Lawson, and two Boots all beginning to see the world through a new perspective.
Absolutely. And this is very interesting because this is the second time we've seen Maul do this ritual with the tea because he did it before with Pre Vizsla
Uh huh.
to at that point establish some false trust
Yes.
going on with all of them. And so it's like interesting to see it again
Yeah.
as we kind of go through this. And so it's definitely like his intentions are clear if you know it, but there's no way that Devin actually
Yeah.
knows that he's done this before.
Yeah.
So
Devin definitely wouldn't know, but the viewers know, which is good. So, while he's talking to her, he says she's he oh, hold on. He manipulates everything she says to turn it back on her. After she calls him a murderer, he replies, "Well, we do what we must to survive." He also says in the beginning, he says, "We let's get started. First, we need to get to know each other." He goes, "Let's start with what is your name?" And she's like, "I'm not telling you my name," which I found very interesting because at the very end of the episode, he does say her name at the end of the episode. So
Such a good closing to the episode.
yeah, so he figures it out whether he uses the force or he knew it already or what, but um, he
I like to
does.
think that her mind, like, failed her in it,
Yeah.
and, like, the Sith whispers, like, were able
Uh
to
huh.
pull it out for him or something like that, and that's how he kinda unlocked that a little bit more.
Yeah, I think when he asked her, like you said, her mind failed her, and she was like, "I'm not telling you my name's Devin," and he was like,
Mhm.
"Thank you, Devin."
Yep,
Um,
yep.
so, and then while he's talking to her, she eyes the lightsaber, but there's an important detail here. This is only half of his lightsaber. So, then she steals the lightsaber, like you said. Luke didn't do it, but she did. So she's trying to attack him with his own weapon. Uh, which was this was a huge fight. This was a lot of fun. This is a really good fight. He pulls
This
up
was.
the other half of his saber and they're going back and forth. And you see, like, since it's the red saber, you do see parts where the saber's uncontrolled, or what was the word that it wasn't uncontrolled, but you use a better word for it, where it just
They're, like, unstable, basically.
unstable, that's the word I'm looking for, yeah, so you see parts where it's unstable, then you see other parts where it's, like, controlled and stuff, and this was a good fight between the 2 of them, and then
It was
so
such a statement fight too from Maul, like, fighting with his hand behind his back the whole time
oh, yeah,
after using the shadows and darkness to really keep on making his points and
mhm.
everything like that was just, like, such what felt like I'm gonna teach you. I'm your instructor. Listen to everything I'm saying. I'm gonna put you in your place.
Yeah, like, I don't need to use all my powers, I'm teaching you, look how much stronger I am than you. And he also he shares that his brother and mother were murdered by the same enemy. Um, she takes advantage of his openness to draw his saber, casting her face in the red light, a way to show that she's also surrounded by the dark side. This
Mhm.
moment also echoes Luke's cave duel, and then Devin's style shows she's conflicted. Then the story shifts back to the police station. She keeps switching between forms because she's not sure who she is, a person of peace or a creature of hatred. Then it goes
Yeah.
back to the police station where Captain Lawson is stuck in his investigation. Um, he can't figure everything out. On his board, we see the logo for the Black Sun Syndicate along with the wanted mugshots for Devon and Ludi Vero. These are the pikes that were seen on Janek's last episode, along with the candid shot of Maul that Lawson captured and submitted to the Empire. We
Mhm.
also see a bit of the hallway fight from the previous episode. The 2 boots showed up to hand Lawson his cup of calf, the Star Wars version of coffee. This
Of
is,
course.
of course, and I liked the last episode when he was like, "I don't drink it, but I'm gonna hang out with you." So that was cute.
It's still one of my favorite moments. Yep.
um, it important information about Lawson that makes the storyline much more interesting. We would expect to see a hero cop, someone trying to clean up the planet of crime, and maybe Lawson used to be that cop. But in the present, Lawson is content to let the syndicate have the shares of the planet. He had a friendly relationship with an unworthy informant. His only goal was to keep the heat off of Janix to keep the Empire away. So
We get to see more of that rift keep on happening between Two Boots and Lawson throughout all of this, of Two Boots just wanting to follow order and protocol, and Lawson be like, "Nah, not the
yeah,
case. You
yeah,
can't do it." And so
uh,
when Two Boots kicks him out to to go be a dad for a little while, it's fascinating.
yeah, which is fun. So then, yep, that's when he kicks him out. He goes to watch his kid play shock ball, which is kind of like lacrosse but different.
But
So
we don't get to see it still. We're getting close, but
we're
not
getting
there.
close. We see the son with his stick, and it's
Yep.
funny. He says like, "Oh, why don't you go sit down?" And he says something like, "I just want to stand here and watch it
Like,
from over here or
closer to the
whatever,
action here,
closer to the
yeah.
action." Yeah. Um, so then, as he's standing there, then we go back with Devin and Maul. Maul continues to tempt her. An overhead shot shows the ground beneath her cracking. Maul tempts her with glory. Before the Clone Wars, this might not have worked, but during the war, Jedi became generals. He appears behind her like a ghost. Then the devil whispers in her ear. The imaginary even recalls classic deception of temptation in other stories. Because Maul is focused on Devon, she sends rock cast Icarus and Scorn to distrust a shipment of pike spliced on Janus. Um, I'm
Yeah,
forgetting what's
I think
happening
the whole
here.
conversation with Maul and Devin throughout this little sparring, like she was trying to get to the light, which I thought was a really good like visual indicator in writing of like she's trying to get out of the dark space and everything with it. And Maul just keeps on blasting with these arguments of like why the Jedi were wrong or fragile. Like
Yeah.
he's not being like, obviously the Empire's evil, so we should go and take care of them. And he's never denying like who he was or his history. He's just always kind of putting this out there, but he's painting himself in such a good light. Like he's using what feels like all these terrible political debate strategies to try to evoke a reaction. He wants that anger and hate to really come out throughout all of this.
And he's like saying how the Jedi were weak, right? Because they got taken down. Is that when he's saying that now, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think in this timeline at least. So
Yeah. So then we get a great chase sequence between the police force using droids. Two Boots pulls off some impressive moves, showing
oh yeah,
he's capable, but ultimately he fails. This failure leaves a strong impression on him. He's seen firsthand that the current system can't handle threats like this. His own life was at risk. That's why he becomes so insistent on calling for Imperial backup.
yeah.
Meanwhile, at the
I mean,
Shotball game,
they went two versus the Pikes, and then the Shadow Collective showed up. So it's like, come
yeah,
on, like
yeah, like
I
you're not
appreciate the
gonna,
no.
yeah, you're not gonna be able to take down both of those. They're
No.
two very, and I always thought maybe because the Pikes have always just been so like calm with everything and
Mhm.
like quiet. I thought that they were, kind of weak, but they're portrayed a little bit, a lot tougher in this.
They're built up with a lot of power, authority, and fear around them. It's
Yeah.
really interesting. So
Yeah. And like, they don't need to be like the Shadow Collective is like rough and tough. Like they're the Al Capone type, mafia where the Pikes seem to be like the real sneaky type where they're not just going to come at you. They'll be real sneaky about it. They'll be real quiet about it, but suddenly you'll be like, "Wait, what happened to, all my people or whatever?"
yeah.
So I thought that they were just going to be like an easy takeover, and they weren't by any means. Um,
No, but you can start seeing how their downfall might lead to like the solo movie where they did the raid on the Pikes
yeah.
at, at Kessel, and so we're able to kind of accomplish something like that. So
Yeah, yeah, I think so. All right, so meanwhile, the shockball game, Lawson finally gets a moment to be a good father, and then didn't somebody come up
Master
and who?
Daki shows up.
Yeah, and then distracts him, starts talking to him, and then he disappears right away.
Yeah,
Uh,
because he gets Daki disappears. Lawson gets a call that he has to go back up 2 boots, and we get to watch him just struggle with, "I wanna be a dad for a little bit. My kid just
yeah,
scored."
and did he leave before his kid scored? Like, did he see his kid score or not? I feel
He
like he
he I
left before.
he's I think he saw the score and heard it
Okay.
over the speaker, and that's when he was like, "Gotta go," and by the time Riley looked, he was already gone,
Right, because I
so
did I did pick up on Riley turning and looking at the down at the tunnel where the dad was standing, and dad was
it
gone at
was
that point.
finally dad's here and actually invested. Like he
Yeah,
built up this hope in this kid again, and it's just crushing. So
crushing
like
him again.
I know we should be expecting this. Like this trope of like this overactive cop thing should like be obvious of what we're getting into, but I still can't get past of like they're not just gonna keep doing it, right?
Yeah, and I think so. So,
They are.
they
Yeah.
are, yeah. So Maul continues his manipulation back with Devon. He offers to train her, framing her as a way to fight. Okay, this is what we talked about earlier.
Yeah,
So then
this
this
is
is when,
cool. Like,
yeah,
that whole fight, like, I think you can't undersell just how much, like, you see in her face, like, the
hmm
struggle of, like, being a Jedi versus being mad, the form switching that she does in her fighting, like, using Kenobi's famous Sorusu fighting, which is good against Maul versus the other ones that she falls into when it goes through it. It's like it's another one of those things that we see where it's that just inner conflict of herself, and it's great to have those details.
and also she's still an apprentice. We haven't established if she, when Order 66 went down, she is not a full-blooded Jedi yet. So
That's a really good point.
we don't know how much training she has gotten before Order 66.
That would probably make a lot of sense with why she would be so disenfranchised with this whole idea of why are the Jedi ways still going? The
Yeah,
Jedi are gone.
yeah. So and also it could help into why she keeps switching forms because she may not know fully like which is the
Mm,
best form to use and which isn't and whatever.
mhm, mhm.
I'm hoping that she still stays good because she did seem, even though she was listening to him and kind of taking in what he was saying, it did seem the rest of the episode in episode 4 that she was more in tune with her master than she was with Maul. Um,
Mhm.
so I'm hoping that she stays with him.
I'm imagining we're gonna get some odd choices, like lesser of two evil choices, where she still has to make like an evil choice and kind of
Yeah.
deal with what that is for her. So I think that's going to be the interesting part of the journey.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I definitely think so. And we heard a lot more of Daki. Is that how I say the master's name?
Mhm.
We
Master
heard
Daki.
yeah,
Is it
Master Daki. We heard a lot more of his
Hideo
voice.
Daki?
Diodaki,
Yeah.
yeah. And I know he's in a commercial also. I think it's for insurance, it's for something. But as the whole time he's talking, I'm just like, okay, I totally just hear this voiceover for the commercial the whole time is all I'm hearing. It was
Oh
so
my
funny.
gosh.
But yeah, so at the end of the fight, she does resist for now and she leaps away. Um, so then we go back to the station, and Two Boots and Lawson are having a crucial conversation. Two Boots is determined to contact the Empire now because he saw uh, that the bad guys got the best of him. He's like, we have to
Mhm,
contact the
mhm.
Empire. Maul is too powerful. This is too much. We can't handle this. We need to contact the Empire. He sits down at the telephone, whatever you want to call it, to
Yep.
call the Empire. And Lawson is like, don't. And he's like, I must do it. And I love the fact that every droid has an on off switch right in the back of their head because
Always. Yep. Everyone
you
knows exactly where to go.
everyone knows C3PO has it. He has it right here. And he was just like, pew, sorry, buddy.
Yep.
Uh, so uh, Lawson
Yeah,
turns
like,
him off.
that's such a huge statement, I feel like, of, like, he can't work with his partner anymore, so he just has to shut him down and move out
Yeah.
of it, and, like, what a like, it's just such a power play of, like, he needs to hold on to the power he has, so he's shutting the robot down,
Yeah.
instead of, like, the Empire coming down and shutting down his power, so
Yeah.
he's kinda grasping onto it, and it's like, is a wrong gonna make a right out of this one? I don't know for sure.
Right. Because is it better for him to keep the power than let the Empire come down?
Yep. I mean,
Yeah.
he and the chief both want that. So it's
Mhm.
like they're probably arguing of like this is the power chain versus
Yeah.
just like complicity with the bigger order and us knowing the future of the empire and just that terrible regime that it is that's overwhelming. It's like you feel for Two Boots who's just trying to feel what his essentially ethical programming is
Yeah.
to just report and not kind of fight through conspiracies. So,
Yeah. So it will be interesting what happens when he gets turned back on. If he and how
mhm.
mad Two Boots gets and how determined he gets to contact the Empire once he gets turned back on, and how persuasive Lawson can be to talk him out of it. To say, "Give me one more chance. Let's just try and work through this a little bit more." So it will be interesting.
Spoiler for the continuing discussion. I looked it up for you. The voice
Okay,
of Mr. Daki is the Allstate guy.
Allstate.
He
There
said,
it
"My
is.
rests are
Yes.
you in good hands." So, yep,
Yes, I knew it was an insurance of some sort. There we go. So,
yep.
yep. So, all right. So then we're back at Maul's hideout, and Lundy requests his Nerf medium rare, which was funny.
It was so
And
funny.
and then Krim. Then we shift to the Pike stronghold, and Krim was once part of Maul's Shadow Collective, but when Maul uh, went away, we'll say went away, was cut
Went
in
away.
half,
Yep. Uh-huh.
went crazy, whatever you want to say.
Was
He
no, this is the Siege of Mandalore issue where
oh,
he was
okay,
captured and then they
captured. Okay,
abandoned him.
yes,
Yep. So this is where we got that timeline placement finally, because
okay.
we finally know where this kind of fights or fits into the world with a lot of that one, because the once Maul got captured, that's where it kind of stayed. So
All right. So then Ludi is now flying back to the Pike Fortress and
going to Obadiah.
going to Obadiah. He's on his way, and you see he's a little nervous. He's a nervous little fella.
Oh yeah.
And he comes out of the ship and he's already apologetic as he's coming out of the ship. He's whispering things. He's like, I didn't, he's here. He made me do it. And uh, they're like, what are you talking about? And then bam, out of the ship comes Maul. And another great fight scene. Uh,
Well,
uh,
this was really big because this was where fake Maul showed up
oh,
in the
yes.
hood.
Yes.
And that was fun, because if you're paying attention, you catch on, because it's just like brute force hack and slash going through with the
Yep.
lightsaber, not that real like clean version that
Clean
Maul does with
lightsaber.
all of his
Yeah.
like
So
yeah,
then
exactly.
and Lundy oh, no, this isn't when Lundy stuns him, but yeah, so this is the fake Maul that comes out first, and then they take him down,
Yeah,
and
they stun him. So, yep, you're
oh,
right.
but
Yep.
it wasn't Lundy who stunned him, or it was Lundy, okay.
It was.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay, so Lundy went and he hid. He's slashing and whatever, and then Looney's comes out from behind the pole with his gun on stun, and he stuns him, that's right, he stuns him. He goes down, and then Looney's like bragging, "Make sure you tell him who took down
It
Maul.
was me.
It
Yep,
was
exactly.
me. I did it."
Yep, yep, absolutely.
And then they pull back the hood, and it is not Maul. It is instead another Zabrak. Yeah, Zabrak.
Zabrak. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Looney's like, "Uh-oh." um, So then, then do we cut back to the police station right after that, I think, or no?
I don't remember exactly in there,
Or
'cause Maul
um,
has an easy time coming in at that point and really kind
yeah.
of wreaking havoc, but,
So then,
uh, yeah, let's just carry on with that part, because that's really
yeah.
cool, because, like, this is where I'm sitting there and just questioning myself. I'm like, "Did he know that it was a fake Maul that was coming through it, and he's, like, that talented of a deceiver?" Talking about Lundy again for you. Um, or Or did he not know, and he's, like, totally caught off guard and thought that he was breaking out of it and gonna be able to actually, like, work with the Pikes and take things over?
I think by how nervous he was, um, that he thought that he didn't know that Maul had a body double. I think he
Right.
thought that he really beat him. Um, because he was because I thought the same thing too, but then only because he was uh so nervous before it that he was so excited to betray him. So then that's when Maul sneaks in undetected. Maul emerges, uh bathed in the red light, using the force to attack from a distance before igniting his saber. Once his
Mhm.
double-bladed weapon is assembled, he cuts through the guards effortlessly. And then, oh, that's right. And then that's when the what was the guy's name? He kills Krim instantly, just like "Pfft,
Yeah.
whatever.
I'm
Like
like, "Wow, okay, that's over.
that
Awesome.
was
No
over.
problem."
And then I forget what the guy's title was, but he says, "You're like the leader of the guard." I
He
think
was
that's what it
the
was.
commander of the guard or
The
something,
commander of the
yeah.
guard. Yeah. And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "Okay, you're now in charge here, but you report to me." And he was like, "Okay."
Mhm.
um,
Yep.
so that was really cool. And then I can't wait to see what happens to Lundy because Maul saw him completely like backstab him. So I can't wait for him to just like,
He
I
he
want him to just
kept
like
him al
fry
he
him
kept
on
him
his,
alive.
yeah, yeah,
That's the really interesting thing is he kept him alive,
yeah.
and so I'm trying to figure out what's gonna happen to Ludivero of, like, is he just still a useful pawn? Or that's why I keep on pausing of, like, this was all part of the plan all the way through, because he was supposed to build that trust and really make it look like it was done so they could go with it, but hard to know.
Yeah, that's so hard to know. I think it'll maybe be revealed next week because we'll see how he's used again next week if he does something similar
Yeah.
with another band of people that he's trying to take over with another syndicate or whatever. But yeah,
Yep, yep,
so it'll be
absolutely.
interesting to see. But all right, so then back on Janix, we see more of the world, various alien species moving through the streets, adding texture. Uh, Daki urges Devon to leave the planet, but she insists on staying to help. Um, Earlier, she was more uncertain, but now she's trying to prove that the Jedi still matter. Part of this may come from Maul's influence by challenging her beliefs. And then at the police, this is where I feel like she really wants to stay and be a Jedi.
I think
Um,
more than anything, she's trying to double down to convince herself that it's the right choice for
That is
her.
the right choice. Yeah, I can see that. At the police station, tensions rise as everyone shares the same goal: keep the Empire away. But Two Boots can't grasp the bigger picture. He proceeds with his plan to contact the Empire. That's when he shuts them down. And then in the when
This
Maul,
is when we get the big reveal about Lawson then too, I think, that his ex-wife works for the Empire,
yes,
which explains so much of his anti-imperial kind of
hmm,
rhetoric, and so it's like, is politics part of the reason that they got a divorce that's
yep,
kind of causing that, or did she get an opportunity and he didn't wanna leave and the kid stayed, or what does that kinda look like? And so man, another good layer on to Lawson and this whole look of the Empire as a whole.
yeah, 100%. And then as that's happening, raisin one's in. All right. He says, claiming my lap coupon. He just showed up. Hello, you made it. All right. So then Lawson sends away the recon droid. Oh, Maul contacts him via holocron and he tries to appeal to Lawson's ego, suggesting he's a man who can be reasoned with. So this was really neat because Maul was like, "Look, I will make sure that your planet is safe. You just let me do my business and I'll do my thing, you do your thing, and everything will be okay." And
And we
and
know, or at least we can intuit that the police on Janix have made these deals before.
yeah, yeah, he's like, "We know this is a thing. So let's do it and let's thumbs up. We got it. It's okay." Um but instead of striking a deal, the situation erupts into a full-scale firefight. The recon droid is taken out first, while the remaining officers from Protective Premier around Lawson. Meanwhile, the Jedi sense Maul through the Force and locate him in the rafters above. This was like a huge fight. This was a lot of fun. There was a lot of things going on here.
So much going on.
So much going on. It was really cool. Like the Jedi suddenly were there also, and they knew that they had to take down Maul because he
Mhm.
was a bad guy and they're a good guy. You got the police fighting Maul's band of
Yeah, that's
misfits
Shadow
there,
Collective
the Shadow
folks, yep.
Collective folks. So there's lasers going all over the place. Maul's running around in the rafters. You got Jedi chasing them. Uh,
It's such a big moment in this fight too, because I felt like watching this that Maul was all out against Master Daki, and they were
yep,
pretty evenly matched, which
yep.
was cool to see
Hmm.
that Jedi of this time could kind of hold their own against him. But then he also appeared to be evenly matched with Devin in their fights, so I'm like, he's playing down to her and playing games.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think because Daki is definitely way better than Devin is, and so yeah, so I think Maul obviously Maul has a couple of extra secrets up his sleeve than
Oh
Devin
yeah,
could be ready for. Um, so a huge fight. Everybody's fighting all over the place. It's wide shots, it's close-up shots.
yep.
Ground battle between the police and Maul's forces escalate. Rockcast unleashes a flamethrower because it's a
Oh, so cool.
it's
Yep.
a
It's a
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian
So of
staple.
course you
Yeah.
got to have a flamethrower. It was
They have
funny.
so many cool gadgets, so
They so many. Yeah, they're like the Batman of Star Wars.
Uh-huh. Great way to
Um,
describe it.
when in the original Mandalorian series, I was keeping track of every time that Mando used his flamethrower, and in the first season, I think he used it 3 or 4 times in 10 episodes.
Mhm.
Um, Devin briefly saves her master, reinforcing her hesitation between compassion and aggression.
Huge moment for that one to actually,
Yeah,
like, roll in and make that happen, and this is after, like, Maul and Daki had both had really good hits, like, I
yeah,
liked seeing that Maul's legs, while blessed with the Night Sister magic, were still, like, not immortal, and so that he
yeah,
could kind of get damaged from that, and I thought
hmm
that was really cool because we hadn't seen, like, Maul's legs or anything take a hit ever before, so
yeah,
I just think that's an interesting take that might play a role as the show goes on.
yeah. And we finally see the spy droid show up.
Oh, finally,
he
Spybot, we've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting for you, Spybot. He makes a little smoke cover to help Lawson and the Jedi escape. Lawson finally acknowledges the truth. The Jedi are real allies, not enemies. He questions why they didn't tell him sooner and begins to accept their presence. At this point,
Mhm.
Lawson and the Jedi form a temporary alliance, but the inevitability of Imperial arrival looms large. The final image is an Imperial Star Destroyer eclipsing the station, symbolizing the overwhelming force of the Empire closing in. This visual echoes earlier Star Wars imagery, including the opening of A New Hope and the arrival of the First Order. Back in the tunnel, Maul continues covering the retreat while injured. Daki is also wounded, raising the possibility that his injury may become fatal later. Um,
Oh, yeah. That's definitely something that I'm banking on at this point. The
yeah,
loss of a master is gonna be, I think, a key, plot point for Devin and Devin's path.
yeah, and will that be what turns her to the dark side? If
Mhm.
her master
Mhm.
disappears. I mean, we all know what happened to Anakin Skywalker. He had no father figure, just a brother figure, and he turned. So, will this
Yep.
be the same concept? So,
Yep.
and then back at the station, Lawson reunites with two boots as the station escalates. An Imperial Star Destroyer now eclipses the police station entirely, and this mirrors Star Wars imagery and the
This is where
massive.
we got the good exchange with Lawson and Two Boots, where Lawson was like, "I hope you can forgive me for what I did," and Two Boots goes, "Of course, I hope you can forgive me for what I
For what
did."
I did,
And
yeah. Once
that's when all the comms start going off of the Empires here.
the
So
Empire is here. Yep. So he turned them back on, and we found out they didn't get a sit down. He turned them back on and called the Empire.
yep, yep, it was
So
bound to happen.
the first one out of the Star Destroyer is going to definitely be Lawson's wife, and she's going to come out
Oh,
and say, "Hi, honey, I'm home," and he's going to
interesting.
say,
Yeah,
"Go say hi to your son. You haven't been home in 5 years. Your son has missed you. He's all grown up now." Um,
I hadn't put that thought in my mind yet, and I'm feeling the same way myself of like, of course she's gonna show up. I was just trying to figure out how many or which Inquisitors are showing up for something like this.
Yes, yes, and then we're definitely going to see Inquisitors, of course, because, and then Lawson's going to be hiding the Jedi because The Inquisitors are going to
Mhm.
be there to try and hunt down Maul. Um,
Yep.
and then Lawson's going to have to be playing both sides. We're saying go get Maul, but don't worry about these two people. They're my friends, And
Yep.
then the Inquisitors are going to somehow stumble across the Jedi, and then they're going to be trying to get them as well. And that's probably when Master Doki will get. Maybe he gets killed by the Inquisitor, which will then. Oh, look at this! I'm writing the script right now.
Oh, interesting pivot. So
Yes, and that's what's going to make Devin go find
agree with Maul
Maul.
that the Empire's evil.
Yup, and say, "Let's go. I'm with you. Teach me,
Hmm.
oh great one."
Hmm.
Boom.
Yep.
Mic
Or
drop.
at least, or at least my enemy is your enemy. So let's work together through
Let's work
this.
together.
So yep, that's
All right.
interesting.
Well,
So.
Dave, you can't trick me. I figured it out. So,
Well,
and
I can
that's
tell you what I'm looking forward to in that moment, because what
all
we had
right.
again, so we ended the first episode with Maul having his shadow on top of Devon, and then we
Yes.
basically ended the third episode with Maul having his shadow on top of Devon, but much larger. So I'm wondering if they're just playing with the actual lighting in the room, or if they're trying to say like this is the influence that he's having on her right now.
Oh,
So
that's
I'm
good.
curious if
Yes.
there's going to be even a bigger shadow later on, or if it just happens to be the lighting that they're actually working with, which makes it look how it is. Because like we see that the shadows are the influence, because that's
Right.
when the Imperial Star Cruiser is coming into Janix. It has its shadow that's coming over the city as well. So clearly, it's just a nice way to infer who has power right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can see that shadow getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and as it gets bigger, she's gonna get closer and closer and closer. So, yep.
Especially when we follow the plot that you have laid out perfectly. That I can't wait to find out next
Mhm.
next week if you were fully correct or not.
Yep, exactly. Um, does the show end when he first appears in episode 1, if that makes sense? That's a good question. Do you think it's gonna go all No, because there's another season after this.
There's another season.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's another season after this. So this is how many
This is already after
years?
episode 1, so
Yeah. Oh, this is after episode 1. No. Yes, yes, this is after
yeah,
episode 1 because
yeah,
yes.
yeah, we're
Um,
we're between 3 and 4.
yes. All right. So, um, all right, I think that pretty much wraps it up. That's a whole hour for us. We did a great job of talking all about those two episodes, and you will be
Continues to
back.
be a good
Yeah.
show,
It's a good
so
show. Luckily I will only have one podcast to worry about next week, and I think you too. Yes.
no, I got 2 that I'm helping with next week,
You
so
got two next week? Okay. All
yeah,
right. Well,
but I'll be fine, I'll be here. I
he
did
says,
I did 2 last week. My hub crawl episode, I think, dropped today, so
yeah, and it's not supposed to drop until till next week, by the
next
way.
week, I know.
Yeah. So
Scheduling drama.
yeah, it's all mixed up. So Raisin, no, he didn't die in episode 1 in the movie. He was cut right in the perfect spot in half. And if you watch the Clone Wars, the animated series, I think it was season 3. You have to Google it to see which episodes. I want to say episodes 8, 9, and 10 or something like that. I forget the actual numbers, but it talks about what happens. And he winds up falling down a chute and going to a trash planet. And he's filled with so much rage and hatred, and the dark side is powering him, and the dark side is actually keeping him alive.
So mad he refuses to
He
die. What a
refuses to die.
concept.
Yes. And he winds up building robotic legs and stuff to keep him so that he can walk around. And he lives on this trash planet for numerous years. I forget how many years they say, until his brother finally finds him and then takes him off of the planet. And then he uh, gets back and gets these other robotic legs that are in this series now. So that is
Just
where he stands at this point.
Go back to Bantha Milk streams ago.
Uh-huh.
Spend an hour. You'll learn everything you
You'll
need.
learn everything. Right before you started watching us, we talked all about how Maul became this way now. So you missed it. New top 3. Darth Maul at the 3. I can deal with that. I think Darth
Respect
Maul
that
is a
one.
yeah, I definitely receive get rid of Jar Jar and put Darth Maul there and you're in.
Or just promote Jar Jar and Darth Maul, right?
There you go. Darth Jar Jar. And now we're talking
Mhm,
about something
mhm.
here. So
Absolutely.
all right. Well, next week we will either be on Tuesday or Wednesday, and be bringing you our rundown of episodes 5 and 6
5 and
of
6, the halfway
Maul,
point.
the halfway point. Yes. So with that, I'll say it first this week. We have spoken.
We have spoken.
Good night, everybody.